abusing. I know all of you, they know the Middle East and North Africa, but when I start doing research on this region, the first thing I struggle with, what is the Middle East and North Africa? And that's actually still a problem for all those who have done work in the Middle East and North Africa. It's still, there is a big problem. What is the Middle East? The World Bank defined the Middle East to include Algeria, Bahrain, and so on and so on. Other international institutions like IMF and so on, they said, no, we have to, the Middle East goes beyond that to Turkey and so on and so on. Some, not only 2 or 3 I cited here, but there's some other books referring to some areas like Sudan. They said if you include Sudan with the Middle East, it will be misleading about the region. So this is one of the major problems when you do research about the Middle East and North Africa. The other thing is, so to define the region is normally a problem. The other thing, I know you know the region, but there's some facts we need to consider it. Many people, they consider it as the most important part of the world now. And that due to many factors. Some, they said it got a special or have a strategic priority because of oil. And every time in the news we hear Americans are there for oil, this war because of oil, Iraq. There's lots of, anytime we refer to oil, oil. Yes, these countries, some of them are very rich in oil, like Abu Dhabi, like Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and so on. So I think we have, this is another, we're going to have this speech shortly from Allam. He's been in the BBC and all this. He will talk to us far better than what, but I think you all agree we have never been short of news every day, every news, every channel, every hour, something about the Middle East. The other thing also, a general feature of the regions generally, governments do involve heavily in regulating the policy and how things are happening in the region. That's another criteria for the region. There is dominant features also whenever always associated with the Middle East. One of them, Islam, is always associated with, every discussion is keep going back to Islam, religions, and so on. Also, the US is quite dominant in any discussion about the Middle East. Not like the UK, France. It's been a dominant, every time you find that discussion coming back in the US and the US involvement and so on and so on. And again, the issue of Palestine, I'm sure you all agree, it has been in the debate in the region. But from science and technology point of view, what we found so far, there's only 52% of Arab countries, they do actually have a national research and education network. And I will just give you an example, which I was even surprised when I did my own research. In the Middle East and North Africa, I just give you 3 examples. One of them is called the largest or the world leader or the biggest desalination, saline water desalination corporation is actually in Saudi Arabia. The best people that use technology worldwide is in Saudi Arabia. The largest desalination corporation is in Saudi Arabia. You have Masdar City, which is a carbon city, the carbon-free, the first world carbon-free city in Abu Dhabi. You have the largest agricultural research institution in the region is in Sudan. There's so many examples I can give you, but if you ask them, do they communicate with each other? Leader in agriculture, leader in desalination, leader in sustainability, they don't even communicate with each other. Imagine, what about, there's so much learning from Saudi Arabia to those people in Abu Dhabi, from those people in Sudan, and so on. So we realize this is not the case within Europe. Within Europe, people learn from each other. If Ukraine is doing something very good, the rest of Europe is learning from Ukraine. If Germany is doing something good, quickly the others in Europe, they are learning. In the Arab countries, that's not the case, despite the very good research or work is done. And I think we're also very delighted, and there's an excellent opportunity we're going to hear to Professor Al-Fahal about a research center in Sudan being recognized internationally as a leader in that area. I will not spoil this, he will talk to us. Again, there's others are not interacting with each other to learn from. This is one thing so understanding the problems in the Middle East are very complex, and they need much better knowledge about the region. I will give you very quick statistics which are available in the public domain. You can go and click here and you can see the latest about this is a measure by Yale University in the US. It's so far considered very reliable. You can go and check any country, the whole region, and you can see how the Arab countries or the Middle East is doing. But generally speaking, most of the Arab countries are not doing very well, particularly very rich one like United Arab Emirates. You can see United Arab Emirates and that is being recognized by the government, which can give you an idea that no matter how rich or poor, that doesn't mean you are taking care of the environment. Abu Dhabi is a very rich country, but still in the environment is a big challenge in United Arab Emirates. and so on. So the leading country so far doing well in the index is, for example, Algeria and so on. You can see Bahrain is also not doing very well. Iraq, there's lots of problem now. Kuwait is another rich country, still not scoring very low in the sustainability index and so on. That's one index. The other thing is innovation. Two countries have been so far or been recognized internationally is Qatar and United Arab Emirates. And in the scale, you can see Qatar is the last one done by INSEAD. They are number 26 worldwide in terms of innovation index, which is a good sign something is going well in some countries. United Arab Emirates also. And United Arab Emirates in another index, which is the Digital Opportunity Index, it was cited as the only Arab country among other 5 countries worldwide managed to exceed the 50% target of broadband in houses and so on. So some are doing very well, but you can see, sorry, I have to get this back one. But all of them are not scoring very well, like Jordan, 41, Bahrain, 46. They are progressing, but you can see the score is still very low. The other alarming problem in the region, the origin of patents application. You can see the Middle East area here. There's hardly even small dot. There's no any registration of any patent from the whole region. So you can see the concentration of patents, which are indicators of how science and technology is going. This is almost blank. And that doesn't mean because they don't have things to have patent for, but there's other reasons for most of the work done in these countries is just stocked in some libraries or in their reports or in their offices. People can't see it. I have been told when I went to United Arab Emirates, one of the best research done on GIS is in United Arab Emirates. They did lots of work, but you can hardly find a report or a book or a journal paper about GIS in the Arab countries. But they have done lots of work there, but stuck in some municipalities and so on. It's not being published. It's also the issue of confidentiality and report not to be seen and so on. That's another issue. Another thing, in terms of scientific citation, you can see there is hardly somebody referred to the work done in the Arab countries. That's another alarming thing. Most of the citations are happening from this part of the world. That's another big alarming thing. There's lots of scientists and so on. There's lots of work done here, but there's no one referred to what is going on here. International journal, there is one, I think there's a couple of journals. One is Saudi Medical Journal or something published by Elsevier and so on. So this is a very big alarming indicator from the World Bank. Knowledge economy, I will not talk too much because we have not only an expert on knowledge economy, but we are so lucky to have Ed talking to us after the break. He knows this more than us, and he will tell us far better the concept and the theory behind this. He advised many governments. But generally speaking, you can see the scale from the World Bank knowledge economy. I will not even talk about this. I will leave everything to Ed. But the highest ranking is United Arab Emirates, and it's still far away from the average, not only from the leader, which is Sweden, but compare with like Ireland, compare with Estonia, even compare with Malaysia. We are still, Malaysia is always being used as an example for the rest of Arab countries, but most of them are not doing very well. And I will assume the actual result now will be even worse after these wars and lots of troubles in Cairo, in Libya, and so on. The things, because when we contacted embassy here through the foreign office, there's 3 or 4 embassies from the foreign office, official record closed, Iraq, Libya, Iran, and so on and so on. To that extent, officially in the government eyes, this embassy is temporary, there's no communication and so on. So, but the other thing is the more alarming thing, some of them are progressing well if you compare from 2000 to 2011. Some are progressing positively, like United Arab Emirates, Oman, 18%. Yeah, there's lots of good work happening in Oman and so on. But the alarming thing, some are backward progressing. If you can see here, Bahrain -2, Qatar -5, which can give you another issue. In innovation, they are doing very well, but in the knowledge economy or index overall, they are minus, they are going backward. And maybe it can shed lights on, it's quite difficult to get this right. Why? In the innovation index, they are doing very well. Innovation is one part of this, but overall, they are not doing very well. And you can see some are -18, like Kuwait. Kuwait is a very rich country. And you can see there are others, for example, like what is Jordan, Lebanon, and so on and so on. That's another issue. Now, the World Bank said it very clear, and I will just read it for you. Without a solid capacity to innovate and produce quality services and products, countries in the Middle East and North Africa region will struggle to become more productive and develop more knowledge-based products and services. It's very clear. This is the summary of that report. This will have consequences for overall economic growth, and demand for high-skilled jobs will not increase. Now, there's two main issues. Last night I was talking to one of the ladies who was also in this network from Kuwait University, and she said the same thing. Kuwait, the whole government this is how they see what they're supposed to be doing and how the future. A sustainable knowledge-based economy based on innovation, entrepreneurship, and knowledge. The same thing, these are the key pillars in United Arab Emirates: innovation, entrepreneurship. So they recognize what's important to happen. But the progress is very slow, and they all recognize, United Arab Emirates, very rich country in oil, they do recognize they have to transform the economy from oil-based to a knowledge-based. They do recognize you cannot sustain a future with an environmental-related product. The oil is an environmental-related income, so you have to. So this is being acknowledged. I think that's all what I wanted to say, and.